Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. And today I wanted to show you basically this watch here. I've shown these other watches in the past, and I was able to get these at local Walmart stores for a pretty good bargain. Very basic three-hand analog watches with the date and day window there. And this one just caught my eye because even though it's the same thing, there are a few little different just a different look. It's got a kind of this Velcro strap for a watch band and kind of that rugged outdoors earthy look there. So I just couldn't resist this one. Now, when I bought the others, normal price was about $30 for those. And if you shop online, you might have gotten a better deal about a year ago. Right now, this week at a local Walmart store, this was $31.92. So I guess prices have gone up. You know how the economy has been lately. So yeah, you might look for that price range, about $32 for this one. And it was just nice to have the convenience of getting it right there at a local Walmart store. Now it's pretty straightforward. This guy here now has a rotating bezel, and that rotates both backward and forward there. And it's pretty easy to rotate that, so I wouldn't rely on this too much. If you could just a simple bump that, or you putting on your jacket, you might rotate that a little bit. But it's kind of nice that at least it really does rotate, and it rotates really really smoothly and easily, and I kind of like it in its own way. Now you also have here, you have three hands plus the day and date window, and this is pretty easy to set. You also have 100 meter water resistance, so that's pretty good. And I've actually been contacted by people who have versions of this watch, and maybe even a smaller one, that when they say 100 meter water resistant from Casio, actually, yeah, you can push these. Plus, they're inexpensive enough that they're kind of like beater watches. But I don't know how many of us actually go down 100 meters when we're under the water. But some people have taken these down to depths, at least 50 meters. With no trouble at all. So I trust those water resistance ratings. I think I'm just fine. And if all I'm going to be doing is like swimming in a lake or a pool or whatever, and I'm really only going to go down about 2 or 3 meters is all, I think you have no trouble with this one. Now, I don't know how well this strap is going to resist water. Looks like some leather type pieces there. Maybe it's real leather. So maybe you don't want to get that wet. Maybe you get these other ones wet because they're resin, but anyway, there's something to look out for. Otherwise, it's a very simple, straightforward display here, a three-hand analog thing there. So what you can do, first of all, you might want to set the day and date to the right thing. Now, depending on whether this is AM or PM, the common advice is you don't want to be resetting the day and date indicators there between the hours of 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. So maybe what I'll do here is I'll pull this out all the way. There's 2 clicks here. So the 2 clicks, and you see the second hand has stopped. And I'm just going to rewind this to about 6 o'clock just to be safe. So what I'm doing here is I'm making sure that the watch is not trying to advance the day and date while I'm trying to do it manually. So if I'm here at 6 o'clock, whether that's 6 o'clock AM or PM, the watch mechanism is not trying to advance that window. So now, if I push this in 1 click, so kind of the middle position, because there's all the way in, and then there's 1 click out. If I go 1 click out, the watch is still running, but now if I turn this clockwise, it's going to advance the day of the week, and actually it can be in Spanish or English for those abbreviations. So today, the real day of the week is Thursday, but I'm going to set this to Wednesday, okay? And then if I turn this the other direction, counterclockwise, that's going to advance the date. So I'm going to set it to yesterday's day and date, which was Wednesday the 31st. Okay, so I'll do that. And then I'm going to wait for the second hand to get straight up to the 12 o'clock position, and then I'm going to pull this out all the way and stop the mechanism. Just, that's just me. I like to set my clocks as close as I can to atomic time. Some of my clocks and watches will do that automatically. They have the atomic time receivers built in, but in this case, it's very simple. It doesn't have a radio-controlled movement in there at all. So what I'll do is I'll wait for it to get to the 12 o'clock position, and then I'll stop it by, again, pulling this crown out all the way to the second click. So here we go. All right, so now if I look at the actual time, it's coming up on 11:06. So what I want to do is advance this. I want to advance this to today, and so it didn't happen there. I have to, so that means it was set to 6 a.m. Now if I go around here the second time, it is going to advance the mechanism there to the 1st and now to Thursday the 1st. So now I know I'm indicating AM hours here. I want to go to 11:06. I probably missed my chance to set it exactly to 11:06. So I'm going to set it to 11:07, but I'm going to go beyond 11:07 by about 5 minutes and then bring it back to 11:07. Where am I? Right there. Trying to do this manually, get it as close as I can. I think it's pointed pretty straight on to the 7. Let me fine-tune that a little bit. What do you think? Okay, 11:07 and 0 seconds. Now, as I'm sitting here, it's going to take me about 15 more seconds before the actual time will be this. So what I'm going to try to do is at exactly 11:07 and 0 seconds, I'm going to gently push this in without turning it at all, and that would be right about now. Okay, so I think that's still pretty well pointed to the right thing, and now it's running. So that's how I synchronize this to the correct time from an atomic time source. And now Casio says this is going to run with accuracy to plus or minus 30 seconds a month. However, I have discovered with my Casio quartz watches that the accuracy is usually much, much better than what the factory specifications say it'll be. So I wouldn't be surprised if I looked at this 1 month from today and it was only off by, 5 seconds. It's really very good. So anyway, there you go. Now let's take a quick look at the watch band here. Okay, so it's got this Velcro stuff, kind of the scratchy stuff there and the soft stuff all around the watch band there. So I can, put this to whatever size I need for my wrist. I got the keeper right there. I'm going to move that out of the way. So if I want to, then I roll that keeper back. It's a little tight there. I'll get used to it. And there you go. Again, it's basically the same watch, but it's just got that great outdoorsy look to it. And I think that that Velcro strap could be very, very comfortable. Let's put this on my wrist too. I have about a 7.5 inch wrist here, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so far so good. Let's get that position just so. Okay, and yeah, not bad at all. Maybe a little tight. Let's see. It's got a little bit of a crease there from when it was in the packaging, so maybe it'll take a little while to kind of develop a new crease there that actually matches my wrist size. But you can see that looks pretty good. It feels really nice actually. I like that. And the price isn't bad, $32 or so at my local Walmart, and you can again look online. There are other variations of this watch, of course. I've got 3 of them now, but if you look up the MRW210H, you can find a few other color combinations and maybe different types of material for the watch band. And yeah, choose the one you like, and I think you'll like. I also like the fact that it's relatively large. So let's just kind of compare right next to a typical G-Shock Square, the display size on your digital G-Shock, and that's a pretty good. I like the size of that digital display, but you can see that one even larger. And depending on the color combination you choose for your analog watch, this could show up really well, especially for someone who maybe has vision problems. Yeah, it's just a nice, clear, straightforward dial there. And see how it's got the little indicators, smaller indicators in there for the 24-hour times. And it's just, you couldn't be more straightforward about this. Just to be thorough, let's do a little weigh-in here. It looks like this weighs in roughly 53 grams. Okay, I may not have the most accurate scale in the whole world, but 53. Let's compare that to one of these other guys. Actually, yeah, it comes in This is heavier. How about the one with the black on it? Again, yeah, comparable here, about 60 grams compared to just a little bit lighter for this one with the Velcro on it. The owner's manual that came with this wasn't entirely clear. It did tell me what kind of battery it uses. It uses an SR927SW battery, which is a small battery, but it's a pretty typical battery for a lot of watches. So when it comes time to replace the battery, it shouldn't be that much trouble. There are 4 screws holding the back of the watch case on there, so you take those 4 screws out, and it's not that hard to get in there, change that battery. Again, SR927SW battery. The manual says the battery should last about 3 years. So there's nothing really in there that's going to drain the battery any faster than that. You know, it's not like you're using a backlight or alarms or things that are going to drain that battery. So I would definitely say about 3 years before you need a battery change. Of course, the first battery that comes with it, not quite sure what that's going to do, but you know, once you get a brand new fresh battery in there for sure, about 3 years before you need to do anything again about a battery. So yeah, just nice, straightforward, does its job, and the price is okay. Again, it's a couple dollars more than it was last year, but still at $32 or so at a local Walmart store, and you can find them online, and you can find even additional color combinations out there. I think you're doing well. So anyway, that's all I have to tell you about today, but I will have more episodes, of course. So I hope you will join me back here again for more episodes of the Good Timekeeping Show.